guys, welcome back to my channel. Hopefully you guys are doing really well. Today we're going to be doing a full face of Wet n Wild. I have a big old box full of a bunch of different products. Wet n Wild is one of my favorite brands from the drugstore, and I have so much other stuff that I really want to go through it and check and see what stuff that I like and stuff that I don't. I know there's like a few things that I'm not a fan of or just didn't work for me personally, and I kind of just want to go through it. I didn't even have to buy anything for this video. I have so much Wet n Wild makeup. Wet n Wild and e.l.f. are like my two favorite drugstore, really inexpensive brands. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm super excited because I haven't played with makeup or put makeup on in like 7 days straight, which is a super long time for me, and I haven't done that in a really long time. It's been a minute. I've seen this face for way too long. I'm actually pretty proud of my skin lately. And then this morning I woke up and then it just wasn't looking as good as it was yesterday, so love that. So don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Definitely hit that bell. It's super important to do that during this time so you guys are notified when I upload. And we are going to jump right into this video. Okay, so as per usual, we're going to start with the brows. So I literally did my hair yesterday, like last night, and it looks like crap, and I don't know why. So I have the Wet n Wild retractable brow pencil, and this is in the shade dark brown. So that is what that one looks like. So this is basically like a teardrop shape. It feels definitely very waxy, but I feel like it'll be fine to outline. And then to fill in my brows, I'm gonna use the Ultimate Brow Mascara in the shade dark brown as well, which looks like this. I don't have like a brow pomade from Wet n Wild. I don't even know if they have one, but this is what the spoolie looks like. I'm just gonna take an angled brush and fill it in that way. So we're gonna see if that works. I've never done that before actually. I'm gonna take this retractable brow pencil. It does come with this spoolie, which is really nice. And I'm just going to outline my brows and kind of gently fill them in. I really like a micro brow pencil. That's pretty much what I'm comfortable with, but we're gonna use this one today. I'm gonna use the sharper side. Okay, so I just outlined and I filled in the tail, which is kind of what I usually do. Definitely very, very waxy and not something that I'd use on me every day. So I'm just gonna take an angled brush and just pick up some of this brow mascara and fill in this area of the brow and see if like this does anything. I feel like it would. I always think that I'm gonna do this and I never do it. I'm just gonna take a spoolie side and run that through. After I powder down everything, I'll use this later to set them in place. I definitely wouldn't do that like every single day, but if you're just like in a pinch and you need something to just kind of fill in your brows and you don't have like a pomade or something like that. I really don't know if Wet n Wild has a pomade. I'm sure they do because they literally have everything. We're gonna clean the brows up with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer. I am not a fan of this concealer. It's not that it is terrible. I just feel like for their brand, they should come out with like a new one. Like they did like with the Dewey Photo Focus. I feel like they should just like come out with a brand new one. It smells real bad, like paint thinner. It's a little bit different for a foundation to smell like paint thinner than a concealer, because concealer going under your eyes, it's a very delicate place on your face. So I don't like it for that reason. I also don't think it has enough coverage. The shade I have the concealer in is medium 20. I'm also going to use this to prime my lids. I did have a Wet n Wild primer. I just don't know where it went. So I'm just going to use this today. Alright, and I'm just going to set that in place. I'm going to use the Bretman Rock X Wet n Wild palette. I did a full review on this whole line, but I'm going to use the shade Coconut Connoisseur, which is this one right here, to set that concealer in place. I have a bunch of different palettes from Wet n Wild that I'm going to use today. I think I'm just going to like literally just jump around because I haven't tried some of them in such a long time. Alright, so I'm going to show you all the palettes that I have from Wet n Wild. So obviously I have the Bretman Jungle Rock one, which is honestly very, very pretty. I only used it once, so I'm not like a giant fan of it. I have the Wet n Wild Pac-Man palette, which I don't know if I'm going to use today because I don't think they still have this. I think it was a limited edition. Really, really pretty colors in this palette. I love it. I still have a bunch of these Wet n Wild eyeshadow trios, which this one is Amethyst. I have Jade. I've got Rose Quartz. And then I also have two palettes that are Rose in the Air and Not a Basic Peach, which these are those two. So I just looked it up on the website. So the Crystal Cavern collection, which is these guys, is still available, and so is the Pac-Man palettes. We're gonna literally use all of these palettes today because I really need to find out which one sucks and which one is good. So I literally have all of them open on my desk right now. I'm gonna grab a brush. So I think I wanna use this shimmers because I think they're really pretty, and I honestly think I never use this one. I think the only one I used is the green one, the Jade one. So I think I'm gonna start off with a very neutral color and then we'll build up. I'm gonna start off with the Pac-Man palette, and I'm going to use this shade right here. I'm just gonna dip in with my NYX number 16 brush. I wanna definitely do something with color, but I don't wanna do something with purple or mint because I've done that like literally 80 billion times on my channel. So I wanna keep it neutral, but then I want to go in with some color. Wet n Wild literally has probably the best eyeshadows at the drugstore. They have the most pigmented and the most blendable shadows at the drugstore as far as like the price goes. So now I'm going to take this orange shade in the Pac-Man palette, which is this one right here. I'm using a Bretman Rock and Wet n Wild brush, just like a small blending brush that I absolutely love to intensify the crease. And then I'm going to take a very small brush. This is the Morphe 562. It's like really tiny brush. And I'm gonna take the yellow Pac-Man shade, this one right here. I honestly don't know, I'm just using the Pac-Man one. I just haven't used it in so long. And I'm gonna take that yellow and kind of work that on to the outskirts of my eye, just kind of creating a halo, and then I'll blend it out. I'm gonna take this shade in the Rose in the Air palette and kind of intensify that crease a little bit more just on the outer corner. This turned into a neutral look and I don't know how that happened. I'm gonna cut the crease and I'm gonna do it with the Photo Focus concealer. Super not excited about using this concealer to cut my crease, but it is what it is. And I'm gonna use a Wet n Wild brush, which is this one right here. It doesn't have any name on it anymore because I literally use this brush all the time. So what shows have you guys been watching while during quarantine? Because I've been watching a bunch of weird shows, but now I'm watching this show called Normal People. It's an Irish show that's on Hulu, and it's really good. I just started watching it last night, and I'm like on episode 6 or something like that. I think there's like 8 episodes, but if you want to tell me what you guys are watching on Netflix, leave that down below. I've watched pretty much everything on Netflix. Okay, now that we are here, we're gonna jump into the Rose Court Crystal Cavern. I'm gonna swatch them for you so you guys can see. Some of them have glitter and some of them do not. So those are the 3 shades. I think I'm going to use this one right here because it's like the most orange, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of this shade, which is honestly the prettiest shimmer ever, but it literally gets everywhere. So I'm gonna use it very sparingly, but I'm gonna use that one first, and if I don't like it, then I'll use that one on top just to make it a little bit lighter and have a little bit more of a pop. Again, I'm using a Wet n Wild concealer brush. Wet n Wild brushes are amazing. So I'm just gonna pick this up and then I'm going to wet it with a little bit of setting spray because it looks very glittery. I'm gonna pop this on the concealer and see how it looks. Okay, so I really like that. I ended up not bringing it all the way over because I want something to have a little bit more of a pop on in the inside. So I'm gonna grab the shade I showed you from the Pac-Man palette, which is literally so pretty. I'm gonna spray it because it definitely has a lot of glitter in it, and I'm just gonna place that on the inner. Look at that, that's like literally the most insane shade. So I'm just gonna place that in there and I'm gonna gently blend that in to the other shade. So I'm just kind of going back and forth and blending them into each other. The Pac-Man palette is literally worth getting. Not that I think you have to get it, but it's literally worth getting for that shade because of how freaking beautiful it is. It is so nice. Alright, now that I have glitter literally all over my face, I'm gonna use the shade I used earlier in the Rose in the Air palette, that one right there, to just pop that on the outer corner. I primarily only used these 3 palettes. I did use the coconut shade in this palette to set my concealer, but you can just use any powder for that. But these are the palettes that I primarily used. I'm gonna add some liner. I have the Wet n Wild Skinny Tip eyeliner in the shade Black. This is a felt tip liner. It's actually really nice. I like how small it is. The tip is like micro. It's very, very tiny. So I'm gonna use this to do a winged liner today. I cannot resist. I literally do a winged liner every time I do my makeup. I kind of want to just get it perfect. That's why I do it. I just want to practice it over and over and over again. So I'm gonna pop that on, and then we're gonna move into the face, which is like literally the most exciting part. So I'll be right back. Okay, liner is on. I really like this liner. It's super, super easy, like as far as like emollient wise. Like it's not like a stiff felt tip liner. It's not the blackest, as you can see on my hand, but mine could just be dried out. I just like how small the tip is. You can get like a really nice line. Do my liners match? They never freaking do, and when they do, I'm never filming, so just gotta bear with me. I don't know why I suck. But I'm gonna pop on some mascara. We're gonna do some lashes, but the mascara I have from Wet n Wild is the Bretman Rock X Wet n Wild, and this is called the Bad Bitch Lift, which I love that name. And actually I like this mascara. It's like has a curved spoolie, and so I'm just gonna pop these on. I don't really like to curl my lashes when I put lashes on because I feel like it's pointless. And I feel like I'm just ruining my lashes for legit no reasons. I don't know if Wet n Wild has lashes. I'm sure they do, but just lashes probably that I'm not a fan of. So I'm just gonna pop on these Kiss Luxe Extension Collection, the ultimate lash extension look in Russian Volume. This like whole line has been my favorite recently. This one, Russian Volume, and Royal Silk. This one is Royal Silk, and this one is Russian Volume. So they're a little bit different, but this one's a little bit more dramatic, and this one's a little bit more like wispy. So we're gonna do the Russian Volume ones today, and so let me go do that. I'll be right back, and then we'll start with the skin by priming. Okay, so lashes are on, so we're gonna go with the face. So I'm gonna prime first. I think the only primer that I'm gonna use today, because I have 2 primers from Wet n Wild. They have the matte primer, and I don't really want to use a matte primer today, but I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Prime Focus Primer Serum, and this is a hydrating primer serum. I don't really like this. It doesn't do a whole lot for me. I just don't really like feel the effects on my skin. I'm like such a big primer person. Also, I have super dry skin, and this primer or hydrating serum is super loose texture, and I feel like it's not going to give me the amount of hydration that I want. And also, I've heard that this really makes your makeup last long. So I'm just gonna go ham with it, and then this is what all we're gonna prime with today, and see if it makes a difference as far as the longevity of my makeup. For foundation, I'm gonna use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. I have the dewy one and the regular one here. I think I'm just gonna mix them because in the dewy one I have amber beige, and in the regular one I have cream beige, and they are 2 different colors, so hopefully they will work together. This one's too light for me and this one's too dark for me, so I'm just gonna mix them. We end up with something pretty good as far as the color, so we're gonna try and mix it and see if it's any good. I'm gonna use a sponge. This one is from Shop Marseille, and I'm just gonna pick it up and dot this on. It's definitely going to be a little bit darker. I used a like fake tan foam thing last night, and literally the areas on my body where I was like tan and I didn't really need to like put it on, I was like, oh, I'll just put it on because I don't know how strong this is. I did it, and those areas look great, but the areas at like my chest, my neck, My arms like really didn't get a ton of product. This is gonna be a nice mix though, because the dewy foundation is not super dewy and the normal Photo Focus is not super matte. So we're matching nothing on my body, but I'm gonna use a concealer. Again, this is in medium tawny, which is probably going to be darker than the foundation. I'm gonna blend that out under the eyes. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to add a little bit of the e.l.f. Hydrating Concealer because that is too dark. So my under eyes are gonna look freaking crazy. So I'm just gonna add a little bit to even stuff out. I feel like I'm not cheating that much because it's a $6 concealer. Things are looking a lot better. I'm gonna use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Translucent setting powder. I used to love this setting powder. I still do. It's just, it definitely leaves a white cast and it definitely lightens your foundation just a little bit, which I honestly don't mind. There's certain foundations where I'm like, that's kind of what I need because I suck at choosing my shade, as you can see. And honestly, this foundation like doesn't look bad. I kind of like mixing it. It looks pretty good. So I'm gonna use this and I'm gonna set everything in place. Hopefully this will lighten up everything and so I don't look so crazy. And I'll be right back. Okay guys, so we are looking a lot better than we started. Just so you know like how you can tell that I freaking put tanning on. I literally have this like line that I don't know what happened. So love that. I was like, so I'm gonna pop on some bronzer. I have the Wet n Wild Color Icon bronzer in the shade Ticket to Brazil. I definitely use this a ton because you can't read any of this, but that is what the shade looks like, and hopefully it will work with this dark shade that we got going on. I'm just using my Morphe R7 brush, and I'm just gonna pop that on. This bronzer is definitely a little bit too light for me. I'll take a little bit of the powder that I used and cut out the bottom here. They do have a banana color in this powder, this Photo Focus powder, which I'm sure it doesn't have as much of a cast as this one does. I just haven't tried it yet, and I probably should. This powder is actually really nice for the price. It's so inexpensive and you get a ton of it. For blush, I have the Wet n Wild Color Icon blush in Mellow Wine. I love this color. It's so pretty. It's just like a really nice like plummy kind of a color. I'm such a sucker for like plummy pinks kind of. And I think this like is just such a natural flush color. Honestly, I actually really like mixing the two foundations. I definitely need to get a lighter foundation in the dewy one because if I mix a lighter foundation into it, it's still too dark. So I need to definitely get a lighter foundation. I don't know what I'm thinking about, amber beige, but it looks really nice, like a really nice kind of like satiny matte. I'm gonna spray my face with the Do Me in the Jungle Prep Set Refresh, and this is from the Bretman Rock Collection. It's got some shimmer in it. It's actually really nice and dewy, so I'm gonna spray my face real quick. I'm liking it. Like if you have both of the dewy and the normal, try mixing them. I'm pretty impressed by it. So, all right. So I'm gonna pop on some Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Mascara that we used earlier just to set these brows in place and just add a little bit more color. The reason I guess I didn't really like this one when I first tried it is because the spoolie is huge for me. I like a really small tinted brow mascara spoolie for whatever reason. I just feel like I end up making a mess if I don't have something very small. So let's do the bottom lash line before we put mascara on. I'm gonna mix this color and this color from the Pac-Man palette. So I'm just gonna run that under there. And then for the inner corner, I'm gonna use that really pretty white shade, this one right here. See, it's just such a beautiful color. I'm obsessed with it. And then I'm gonna pop on the mascara on the lower lash line. For highlight, I have two different highlights. I have the Hello Halo Blush Lighter in After Sex Glow. And then I have the Bretman Rock highlighter in two different shades, which is Gold Lioness and Bronze Tiger. So the blush lighter is those two shades. So I will swatch them for you. There we go with those two. I primarily use the champagne color, but over blush, I do think that other color is very pretty. And then the two in the Bretman Wild one is definitely very glittery and one is definitely like champagne-y. So I'm interested to see what's the difference between this one and the one in here. So those are the two champagne colors. This one is a loose highlighter, and this one is the blush lighter. The loose highlighter basically just comes with, looks like this. On the other side, it's just way too glittery, something I would never use on my face. But I actually think I'm gonna use the loose highlighter one just because I haven't used it since I tried it. So I'm gonna highlight the face. It's definitely a very pretty color, but like I have so many colors that are like this. Okay, so we are almost done with this video, guys. We have to do some lips. So I have 3 different liquid lipsticks that we can use. It's the liquid catsuit. So I have, one is called Give Me Mocha Satin Sheets and Nudist Peach. So these are all the ones, and I'm just going to swatch them for you. I don't have any lip liners from Wet n Wild for some reason. I don't know why. Those are all of those. So I think I'm going to go in with the Nudist Peach one, and then I'm gonna mix in this metallic one, which is honestly so pretty. Yeah, so I don't like the way this looks, so I'm gonna add a little bit of the metallic, and maybe it'll look kind of cool. It's starting to look like blue. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna take this off because it's starting to look really weird. So I'm gonna take it off really quick. I'm gonna try and just do the metallic and see if I like it. I kind of like this. I think it looks a little bit better. It's not the best. I need a gloss though. I'm gonna use the NYX Butter Gloss in Fortune Cookie. Sorry to diverge from Wet n Wild again, but I need a good lip color, okay? You guys see what I'm talking about? Like, it looks purple right here. Like, it's almost showing through to my normal lips. My normal lips aren't purple, but I'm sure like through lipstick it looks weird. Ugh. All right, I'm gonna take this off again. I'm giving up on Wet n Wild. I'm doing something else. I'm sorry. I'm gonna use the ColourPop pencil in 951. I'm gonna take the NYX Satin Lip in a la mode. And then I'm gonna take the NYX Butter Lip Gloss and put that on top of it. So I am all finished with this look. Honestly, it looks really, really good. I'm really liking the foundation by mixing the normal Photo Focus and the Dewy one. It looks really, really nice. One thing that really caught me off guard was the lips. I really was like surprised because I used to love the liquid catsuit formula, but I'm pretty sure those are expired and they're very old. Products that I did not like that I probably will never use again: concealer and this brow pencil. Not anything wrong with this brow pencil, just not something I would ever use on the daily. It's just a little too thick and too waxy for me. One product that I really, really love from this tutorial is the Pac-Man palette. So fun to use this again. They still have it, so if you like that palette, definitely check it out online. Thank you guys so much for supporting my channel. It really means so much to me. I love when you guys comment and all of that jazz. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I hope you liked the video. I hope you guys are doing really well and are staying safe, and I will see ya in my next video. Bye guys.